Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Wednesday, Thursday. Just kidding, Thursday. All right, guys. Well, we're back because tonight we have Southern Hospitality and Southern Charm, and then tomorrow we have Hot Messy Topics. So we have a lot to talk about, lots to discuss. Now, before we do, people are wondering what Karen's life looks like in prison. It's not really prison; it's jail, but yeah, we'll talk about it. And then Southern Charm star. The family is selling their house for 22 million. Plus, we have some Beverly Hills. So before we jump in, do all of the YouTubey things, smash the like button, show some love. Let's start here. Thank you to Reality Blurb. It's been a few years since scorned politician Thomas Ravenel, appeared on Southern Charm. However, he has maintained a somewhat active public profile. And he's recently tried to revamp his stalled political career with the intention of running for governor. Now he's back in the news because his family's home is being sold for an exorbitant amount. Now, fans will recall that Thomas first appeared in Southern Charm during the show's first season. However, he did leave the series before its sixth season on a sour note, as he was accused of multiple instances of sexual assault. Notably, one of the accusers happened to be his kid's former nanny. Most recently, he announced that he was running for governor of South Carolina, but later announced that he was no longer running for governor. But part of the appeal of watching a series like Southern Charm is seeing the excessive homes many of the cast members are connected to. And still, one of the most talked about is the Ravenel family home, which was seen in the show several times while he was still appearing. Now, TV show Ace is reporting that a Reddit post shows that it's not only being sold, but it's going for a shocking amount. Guys, this amount, I'm just going to share the video with you. It's actually ridiculous. Hold on.
House, otherwise known as the Pink House. This iconic Charleston mansion just hit the market, but can you guess how much it's selling for? 5 East Bay Street was built by Samuel Stevens for the Ravenel family. He actually built 20 South Battery, otherwise known as the Battery Carriage House, in 1843, and then built this home in 1848. John Ravenel constructed the home after shifting from agriculture to shipping, and he was also the president of the South Carolina Railroad. The mansion was passed to his son, a noted scientist, Dr. St. Julian Ravenel, known for designing the Confederate semi-submersible Little David, which attacked the Union blockade ship Ironside in 1863. And he's also known for pioneering the phosphate fertilizer industry that flourished post-Civil War. Unfortunately, in 1886, an earthquake heavily damaged the property, and it was rebuilt under the Victorian Italianate style under the ownership of John Ravenel's son-in-law, US HWY Frost. Frost preserved the home's original design, and you'll see its Italianate architectural features remain significant parts of the property today. The home remained in the Ravenel family until 1953. It operated as a bed and breakfast until 2016, and it recently went under a multi-year renovation to convert it back into a private residence. The home is 9,407 square feet with 8 bedrooms, 7 full bathrooms, 3 half bathrooms, and sits on 0.4 acres. The property is currently for sale for $22.25 million. So if you're someone in the market who'd like to own an iconic piece of Charleston's history, shoot me a message and we'll take a tour.
Wow. Look at that man. Look, doing the Lord's work over here. I'm trying to see. Oh, here it goes. Okay. So they're pretty much saying that they posted this. The report shared all of the history about it, and people who watched earlier seasons of Southern Charm will recall that Thomas would take people to see it on the show, but his exact ties to the home are also unknown. So sadly, the report also to say that the house is in an area with heavy flooding and could potentially not impact Thomas Ravenel's wallet anyways. Boom. Now, speaking of impact and what's going on with somebody that we actually give a shit about, let's go here to realityt.com. Karen Huger's new life in prison, what she should expect, because we've all been wondering. But undoubtedly, Karen Huger has a long road ahead of her. For years, she's prided herself on being the grande dame of Potomac. But after a few poor choices, she's damned herself. And we're going to take a look at her new home for the next year. She's getting a wake-up call for sure. Her new life is going to be very different from the one that she currently has led. And according to the Inmate Guidebook, the Real Housewives of Potomac Star's new home will be Maryland's Montgomery County Correctional Facility. So the mother of two will have to get used to a new way of life. According to the facility site, MCCF can accommodate as many as 1,028 inmates, both men and women. The facility is in charge of the care of inmates who are either waiting for their pretrial or serving sentences up to 18 months. And this is Karen's new home. According to the correctional facility, each pod has 2 televisions. This is where inmates like Karen, they get together and watch possibly Real Housewives of Potomac together. The settings will be on an English language channel, and the other TV will be put on a Spanish language channel. And the facility gets a wide range of networks, but it's unclear if Bravo will be one of them. Now, after the verdict, Karen began to serve her sentence 1 year. It's 1 year. It was supposed to be 2. 1 was suspended, but she's serving it immediately, and she does have 30 days to appeal the judge's ruling. I don't think that's going to happen. But now, gone are the days when Karen would be flaunting her Gucci or Chanel accessories. Karen will be expected to wear the exact same prison uniform as everyone else around her for the next 365 days. She will only be able to dream about the red carpet. Says you must wear your institutional jumpsuit whenever outside of your cell or in the day area. Whenever you leave your housing area, inmates are not allowed to wear sweatpants and or sweatshirts underneath your jumpsuit. However, approved religious headwear may be worn in inmate cells, day areas, and during religious programs. And Karen is responsible for doing her own laundry, and the jumpsuit's legs cannot be rolled up to expose her socks or her legs. I'm trying to think, though, if she went in February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. She'll be out before BravoCon, guys. I'm telling you, she'll be at BravoCon. As Real Housewives of Potomac's fans know, Karen has had trouble with her wigs over the years, and she will no longer be able to change up her look depending on the day. And a hairdresser service is provided by a professional who has already been approved by the Department of Corrections. Karen will be entitled to the service as long as she submits a haircut order form. But as we all know, the early bird gets the worm, and Karen will have to become a morning person, as the guide shared that inmates are expected to be in their jumpsuits by 8 a.m. It is at this time that inmates' daily and weekly inspections take place, and Karen will have to make sure that her bed is made to standards of the guidebook, and her desk will also need to be clear of all items with the exception of one authorized religious book. And if Karen is eligible, she will be able to have 2 visits from family or friends per week. Relatives and friends may visit unless disapproved by the warden or their designee. Inmates who are participating in any school, work, or program at the time of the family visit will not be sent to the visiting area, and Karen will receive one 30-minute visit on their assigned day. The guidebook, which was last updated in 2022, notes that all visitors are required to wear masks regardless of vaccination status, and Karen's visitors must stay 6 feet apart. This is literally like a prison, but it actually is a prison. According to Maryland's Montgomery County Correctional Facility Handbook, inmates like Karen are given access to collect calls, only telephones, but each phone call conversation is monitored and recorded, and the Real Housewives of Potomac Star will also be able to send and receive letters. So the facility does not limit the number of letters an inmate can receive, but all incoming mail from the outside is screened for contraband. And Karen, like all other inmates, will be served 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Specific food preferences are not honored, and no one can make substitutions on their trays after reading the guidebook. Karen will also have learned that any extra helpings are not allowed, and she can only have 1 tray and 1 beverage. All inmates are expected to shower daily and keep a neat and clean appearance. And soap is also issued to each inmate, and razors are available through a commissary process in most housing units. Go on, girl. You can have that jail all to yourself. Bye. Love you. Love you. Wish you all. See you in Potomac.